Hi there. I love Africa. I believe it is the best continent in the world because it's filled with possibilities. It's filled with the best people, as far as I'm concerned, the best people in the world. I love our African culture. I love our food. I love a lot about Africa. But now let's talk about our African culture for just a moment. Our African culture is beautiful when we celebrate a lot of our cultural practices. They are beautiful, our clothes, our festivals, and all of that stuff. But then when we come down to certain practices that affect people, individuals, and how they play out in real time, we really, really need to look at them in the context of 2025. It is not enough to say that is how it's been done. Think about it. In business, you don't just say, well, that's how we used to do it, so let's just keep doing it that way. No. You evolve with the times, you evolve with technology, you evolve with your environment, you evolve with whatever is going on in the world, the economy of the world. Now, we need to look at culture in that aspect as well. And I'm more concerned about it from an African businesswoman perspective because I am an African businesswoman. And I find certain cultures and practices that really affects us and our ability to really fulfill our capacity to get the best out of us. For example, I had an employee this week that couldn't come to work one of the days because there was a festival going on in her area, a cultural festival. And according to this cultural festival, women are not allowed anywhere on the road. So you cannot come out of your house. You have to stay indoors. But by the way, men can go to work. Men can do whatever they want that day, but women cannot go out. They have to stay indoors. Now, let me ask a question. What of a woman who has to fend for her family? She has no other support system. She's not married. Either she's single or she's widowed. Whatever the case is, she has to tend for herself and her parents. Or she has to look after herself and her children. Maybe she just has to look after herself. So are you telling me that she should close her business that day and not earn a living that day because of a culture, of a system, of a festival? Meanwhile, her neighbor, who is a man, is out there earning income for the day. What if her employer is not understanding? What if I'm not an understanding employer and I said to my staff that because you didn't come to work today, I am going to dock your pay for today? Now, let that sink in. We need to make some of our African cultures make sense in the context of 2025. This is not when women were sitting at home, not working and just looking after the home. In this day and age, women are presidents of countries. Women run stuff. Women run organizations. Women run things. So we cannot just say, well, it's culture. Let's just keep women in their place. It doesn't work anymore. Listen, when your landlord comes to collect rent, your landlord does not care whether your wife earned the money or whether your sister earned the money or whether your mother earned the money. The landlord does not care. The landlord wants his money. I had a family member who was begging for money, and when asked, come do this business, she says, no, I cannot do the business because my husband says I should not work. So let me get this right. The husband would rather have her beg, and he would rather beg than have his wife work for money that caters to the whole family. Does this make sense to you right now? It absolutely does not make sense. In 2025, economy is hard. Things are hard. Children are expensive. I know how much my kids' school fees cost. I know how much our living expenses cost. And I can tell you, prior to 2020, and compared to now, our living expenses have tripled between 2020 and now, not because we're spending more. It's because things are more expensive. And guess what? My kids are growing bigger. And the bigger kids get, the more expensive they are. High school is more expensive than primary school. So being a one-income household doesn't work anymore. So this message is not just for people who have women in their businesses or in their companies, but also to families. We need to support one another for the benefit of the whole family. We need to take our egos out of the equation. Sometimes we need to even say culture. Yes, culture says this, but is it practical? The answer is no. So what is practical in your world today? What is practical in your family today? What is practical for you today? Look at that, and how does it work in real time? Now, I am not saying throw away culture. Please, that is not what I'm saying. What I am saying is be practical with culture and make it make sense for you, for your family, for your business. Because this thing of telling women to stay at home in 2025 because there's a cultural festival, that is crazy. The woman needs to work. She needs to eat. She needs money for different things. So if you say women should stay at home, guess what? Let the men stay at home too. If everybody stays at home, maybe then some people will buy some sense to say, this is not working. Let us all participate in the festival. Let us all go and work, and let us all make it work for us and for our community. Africa is about community. In Africa, we take care of our old. In Africa, we take care of one another. But for us to do that in 2025, we have to be more open-minded, and we have to evolve. This has been Lovelyn Bassi. Think about it and have a good one. Bye.